There's been a lot of talk about AI, innovation, technology, automation, so many different things being thrown at us. The world is changing. People are seemingly becoming more and more expendable. You got the self-checkout lines. You got McDonald's with no employees and ordering on a machine. There's so many different things that are changing right before our very eyes. The controversies of AI, all of these different things like ChatGPT disrupting the market, self-driving cars. Who knows where everything is going? But there's another level to it all. And I saw a clip about a man who has the entire internet in his head. That's right. You heard it correctly. Okay. So this dude has the entire internet in his head. Okay. And we are going to be looking at it. This is a trip. Check this out.
Then here's the answer through vibrations transmitted through his skull and into his inner ear.
What's the largest city in Bulgaria? And what is the population?
The screen shows how long it takes the computer to read the words that he's saying to himself.
To read the words that he's saying to himself? Bro, what?
Sofia, 1.21 million.
That is correct. You just Googled that.
I did.
You could be an expert in any subject.
Darkness.
Now, first of all, let's just acknowledge how goofy this thing looked. This man looked like he got a low budget sleep apnea machine. You see Ivan Preach's video today where he had a sleep apnea machine and that joint was all that looked like he couldn't afford the thing to go to the nose, so he just came into his mouth. That joint looked mad goofy. All right. This thing is basically connected to his brain and he can think the thoughts and Google the things with his head, and this is crazy.
You have the entire internet in your head.
That's the idea.
Here's the thing about this. Now, we've already been able to do this, right? We've already been able to do this on the phone. This is why memory and the ability to access information has just completely just gone down, meaning that it's not super cool to be able to just get random facts, and it's not because you could just do it on your phone, but it's also not that cool in terms of knowing stuff, right? Like knowing random things is not that impressive. Why? Well, because when you know random things, information has been commoditized to this and then to goofy stuff like this. This is one of the new pieces from the He is Him collection, Jesus the King. When you wear this shirt, you do two things. One, you remind yourself in your life who the King is when you put this thing on. Two, you represent who the King is when you go out in public. So get ready for the He is Him collection, available this Friday to Sunday only. Okay, what am I getting at here? Well, if everything is being commoditized to you just having on a device or having a device in your hand, and the information is so readily available, and especially now with ChatGPT, it's gonna disrupt things in terms of what are you doing to utilize the information and actually have skills that are scarce, right? So I would imagine if you're a teacher, you being able to recite random jargon from geography is going to be less valuable than you being able to communicate in a way that's persuasive and engages the students to learn more, right? So like you being able to know the capital of North Dakota, I don't know, what is the capital? Omaha? I think the capital of North Dakota is going to be less impressive than you being able to figure out how to communicate why the capital of North Dakota is significant to people, young people that are learning said information. And then it bears the question, should we even learn said information? Should we even know what the capital of North Dakota is? Is it Nebraska? I said Omaha. That's another conversation. Obviously, I think knowledge is important, but you know what I think is also important is scarce tacit skills, right? Tacit skills to actually learn things that gets people moving and doing things. That would be the thing that I think is also more important, is how do we develop scarce tacit skills that are valuable? Because information's commoditized. we could all look up what a minor seventh key is on a piano. We could all Google it right now, and you could all know what a minor seventh key on a piano is. But how many of you can play a minor seventh key? How many of you can play a minor seventh key and play in a scale and it makes sense and it sound good? You see what I'm getting at? And so this sort of stuff is like, it's cool. It's cool, and I'm sure we'll all be walking around with glasses or something, or maybe we won't. Maybe there'll be those of us that are like, I'm analog, right? I don't know. But the ability to play the piano is going to be substantially more than to know the circle of fifths in your head. You get what I'm getting at? Like, the ability to know the information is going to be worth substantially less than actually being able to implement the information. And that's what I'm getting at. We got to start taking ideas and implementing them. And the good news about all this is that, according to the research, you could learn how to do almost anything proficiently with 20 hours of deliberate focus. 20 hours of deliberate focus, and you can learn almost anything. You can learn to play piano, learn to play guitar, learn to write. That's a massive W, if you ask me. And so if you're, again, in that deficit, and I want to be here, but I'm stuck here, the gap is, well, what skills do you have? What skills do you have, right? What skills do you have? And what skills are you developing and stacking on top of the skills you already have? And I get it. We all start at different places. We all have different challenges and advantages, right? But we all have access to more information than ever before. I mean, the fact that you can pull up countless tutorials right now on how to play jazzy piano chords is incredible. When I was trying to learn to play piano 20 years ago, we didn't have access to this stuff. It's freaking built into the software that comes on GarageBand now. You can literally pull up GarageBand, free software that comes with your Mac, open the software up, and there's music tutorials in there. You can connect a MIDI keyboard, and you can learn to play piano right on your freaking GarageBand free software with John Legend. John Legend teaching you how to sing Ordinary People, how to play it on the piano. Question is, are you going to sit down and spend the 20 hours to learn the piano with John Legend teaching you? That is the question. Because a lot of us like to absorb information, but it becomes very difficult to implement the information. And by the way, just as a side note, the things that we're working on right now, the products that we're developing for you guys is implementation. Right now in real time, we are developing a prayer journal. Why? Because so many of us aren't even sure if prayer works, and then the other half of us don't know how to regularly pray. And those of us that do pray, our memories are so bad that we freaking forget all the answered prayers in our life. So the thing that's helped me the most, and one of the things that helps me the most in prayer is just writing out my prayers. And then I look back and 3-4 months later, I'm like, oh crap, the thing I was praying for that I was so scared of, oh my gosh, God answered that prayer. God answered that prayer. It's amazing. Right? And so we're working on products just like that. Prayer journal, I'm super excited about it. Why? Because I think there's something to writing out our prayers, keeping track of our prayers, dating our prayers, and then going back to and looking at, man, look at God answering prayers. You know, that's the implementation side. And I don't know of anything more important than prayer, by the way. I mean, I would want all you guys to learn how to play play piano, and that'd be dope. And it'd be amazing if you could lead worship, and all that stuff is great. But if you learn to pray, and see the hand of God, imagine what kind of prayers you would be praying, what kind of things you'd be asking God to do through you. See what I'm getting at? So anyway, this is one of the new pieces from the He is Him collection, Jesus the King. When you wear this shirt, you do two things. One, you remind yourself in your life who the King is when you put this thing on. Two, you represent who the King is when you go out in public. So get ready for the He is Him collection, available this Friday to Sunday only.